Just don't do anything silly, my gorgeous Aquamarini. I'm not saying that you are going to do anything silly, but I'm just saying that you are reaching an important stage of your spiritual journey where you really need to stop for a second and think, what are you going to do with your life? Especially when it comes to maybe specific journey coming to an end. Specific journey has come to an end a while ago, but now you're still just a little bit struggling with yourself. And this is fine, and it's absolutely natural. When I said don't do anything silly, you don't want to prolong those things in your life that are making you feel unhappy. So this is why you have to just step back just for a while and look at the situation from a slightly different angle, and you will become aware of people maybe and things that you are still doing that are still around you, still in your life, but you should have moved on from them at this stage. It's nothing bad, it's nothing negative. You are coming out of something very bad and very dark, but then at the same time this is going to require a balance within you to be absolutely perfect in order to reflect in such a way where you're going to realize, my gorgeous Aquamarini, that right at the beginning of this week you will know that the changes are not going to happen as quick as you want them if you are still kind of maybe surrounded by the same people. Let's say that you decide to move on from a certain group of people or from something that you are doing, but then when you do that, you need to do that completely, full on. You know what I mean? When I say completely, that means that you just move on from a certain group of people, like completely, and maybe have nothing to do them. For example, I know it sounds like dramatic, but that's what I'm trying to say. If you decide to kind of move on from something that you are working on, at the same time you need to do that fully, because you're not going to be able to remove yourself from something that you are working on and that you don't kind of like anymore. You want to kind of move on from that. Let's say you're not going to be able to move on from that, what makes you feel unhappy, unless if you do this fully. And what do I mean by that? It means that if you realize that something is making you feel unhappy, whether these are the people or the certain people or a certain person, or this is like something that you do, like maybe for living and things like that. So if you decide to, let's say, move on, if you decide to, let's say, move on from something that you're working on because it's making you feel really unhappy, and it was making you feel unhappy for absolute ages, the strength that I'm talking about, the balance that I'm talking about right now here is basically you can't move on from something that you're working on if you're still hanging around with the people who are connected to that. So that means that you still haven't moved on from that. Or if you're trying to move from a certain person, move on from a certain person that's keep on making you feel absolutely unhappy for such a long time, you're not going to be able to move on from someone if you're still hanging around in the circle that person is hanging around within. Do you see what I mean? This can really reflect on so many different aspects of your life. And the bottom line is always the same. You just need to make that sharp cut, and you will be able to realize right at the beginning of this week, okay? Because I think that you're gonna find yourself maybe going somewhere to do something, and then you're gonna find yourself and realize something for leisure or something good like that you will want to do at the beginning of this week, and then suddenly just out of the blue you're gonna realize that maybe you're surrounded by person or a couple of people who are completely kind of in touch or completely connected to somebody who you are trying to cut cords with completely. So these are the instances that you need to pay attention to. Maybe you need to go and do that leisure, or do something by yourself or with a completely brand new people in your life, and that is going to create something magical in your life. This is going to create that sharp cut that I'm talking about. So with other words, it looks like that you moved on from something, you're trying to move on from something, but you're finding this so difficult, my gorgeous gorgeous Aquamarini, that subconsciously you're holding on to the people and to the situations that your karma has ended with. The karma has ended with. And this is why you're finding this even more difficult. And I can assure you, as soon as you kind of acknowledge this, it's going to take you approximately 9 weeks. It's going to take you approximately 9 weeks after that moment in time. You're going to come out of something dark, something negative, but you are literally going to come on the other side. And what the other side is going to be like is just like, oh my God, the beautiful things are about to start happening to you that you can only kind of dream on. This is how things are going to seem like to you in exactly 9 weeks time. So this is why you have this mind-blowing opportunity to reflect at the beginning of this week and see who do you need to cut the cords with, and see what are you keep on doing that is still involving like the old energy, the old vibration that is causing you to not to progress at this stage in your life like how you should have, how you should actually progress. What I want you to understand, you need to understand this, my gorgeous Aquamarini. You have to return to yourself, come back to yourself, come back to your old self, come back to your old self. You can only come back to, this is so important, you can only come back to your old self by doing things so unique to you, by doing things spiritual. Think about it. I'm not saying that you're not spiritual, but you haven't been as spiritual as you normally are. You didn't have as many spiritual idea. You weren't like expressing yourself spiritually. And I know that lots of you are going to say like, oh, spiritual, boring. No, baby, no. Our spirituality is absolutely everything. And if you do neglect the spiritual part of yourself, especially you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, who are ridiculously spiritual people, then this is going to come out in so many different ways, because you need to regain your balance. You need to regain your balance, and you can only regain your balance by making a sharp cut, what I already said, and by also like reconnecting yourself spiritually with yourself. So you will realize, oh my God, it's true. I haven't done this for a long time. I haven't done that for a long time. I stopped thinking about this. I stopped thinking about that. What happened? Well, it happened that, this blockage that was in your life for a while now affected you. So now at the beginning of this week, just see how interesting this is going to be. Right at the beginning of this week, there is going to be also such an important idea that you're actually going to have, such an interesting idea. And this idea that you're going to have, it's really to do literally with your own spirituality. And you may not even realize that this is marking this grand return of an old Aquamarini. I'm not saying, oh, we need to go back, we are not going backwards. No, baby, no. But within the last few years, you have like just a little bit kind of lost yourself. And this is why this is going to be the path for you to literally come back. So you have to, the second stage of that is, as I said, you have to like really go along that idea when it comes to your spirituality. This could be absolutely anything. Maybe you used to work with aromatherapy oils. Maybe you used to maybe work a lot with the crystals. Maybe you used to meditate. Maybe you used to ground yourself. Maybe you used to like get up really early in the morning and just go with the flow, like gathering the energy of the world, like God knows, God knows. It can come in so many different ways, so this is the idea. Please do not ignore that idea, because that idea, when it comes to your spirituality, this is also, without even realizing, it's like a new door. It's about to open, but you have to go through this, because your spirit is calling you, your soul is calling you to come back to itself. It's important. So, and how you're going to feel this very intensely and very immensely, this idea that you're going to have, oh, I want to do this. And it's going to come from the very much so early in the morning. Whether this is going to be on your mind as soon as you wake up, or whether this is going to be on your mind as soon as you have your coffee or cup of tea or whatever, but it is going to come like very much so really early in the morning, some kind of idea that you want to have, that you want to do, something that you used to do, but at the same time you're taking things on the next level. And this is like, oh my God, if it's not so important, I wouldn't talk about it so much, because it's going to help you to grow like a big mama, you see. So just remember this, my gorgeous Aquamarini. This is so important. And also, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you are really going to become, I know this is going to sound morbid, please, it's going to sound like God, scary, but you're going to hear this cold, hard truth. You are going to hear this cold, hard truth at the beginning of this week. And this is going to, my God, throw you out of balance a little bit. You're going to become aware of something that you didn't know, especially about certain people, and especially what certain people are capable of as well. So this is going to be like, oh my God, we really have so many different types of entities out there. That's how you're going to feel, literally. But at the same time, when it comes to that cold, hard truth, you know, you are really literally going to be so mentally prepared to what are you actually going to hear. But this is going to be great, because it's going to be an amazing eye-opener, because it's going to really help you to understand exactly what do you need to do in order to detach yourself from something very dark, from something very negative, you know, like almost like, oh my God, like an escape from evil type of thing. I know this sounds really morbid, but it's actually going to be really good, and it's actually going to be ridiculously important. So this cold hard truth, you're going to find it mind-blowing only because you weren't like kind of mentally prepared, you know, to actually hear this. But on another hand, this is going to be a mind-blowing eye-opener, because it's going to open your eyes, and it's going to help you to see exactly negativity, sadness, and darkness. It's going to help you to see exactly what do you need to detach yourself from. And it's like an escape from evil, literally. And this is why, you know, you were also like kind of feeling a little bit like kind of spiritually stuck as well. This was all kind of making you to feel like a little bit spiritually stuck, you know, and which would also make you to kind of like and when you're spiritually stuck, this is important. Listen, when you're spiritually stuck, you lose the balance, and you don't give a credit to yourself where the credit is due, and that's not good. That's not good, because this is not how we work. This is not how we live. This is not how we operate. And especially, it was like kind of preventing you to kind of not celebrate and notice achievements in life. And it's almost as if like you're not like living like half asleep. You know, you're like a sleepwalking. Don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at you, but I'm just saying like how much this balance can actually affect you. And also at the same time, you know, there is somebody so kind of like, there is going to be such an important conversation that you're going to have with someone this week, someone so beautiful, someone so gorgeous, someone who means to you so much. And this particular person who you're going to have an important conversation, it's someone who you trust like above absolutely everybody. And this person is someone who is very psychic, very spiritual, very open-minded, somebody who's like very successful, somebody who's very clever, they know what they're doing, but somebody who's also beautiful in and out. This person is gorgeous in, and this person is gorgeous out. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what they say? So that person gives you comfort. That person makes you feel good. That person makes you feel strong. You know, that person makes you feel alive. That person makes you feel yourself, because this particular person is someone very special in your life who understands you so much, and this person also clearly understands your situation. That person is going to tell you exactly how to speed up the certain progress in your life, which is gonna surprise you what this person exactly is going to tell you how to do this. But you will know that what this person is telling you is 100% sure, 1000% sure. If they suggest something to you, even if you don't understand, you still trust this person so so much, and that's exactly what I would suggest you to do, because that person, it's going to kind of tell you to do something that you're going to be absolutely like, oh my God, you would need more information, you would need to be more prepared. But then again, because that person is very psychic, very spiritual, that person is also going to, like, through that person, you're going to understand which steps do you need to make. And it's not only about which steps do you need to take next. It's not only about which steps do you need to take next, but it's at the same time, through that person, you will understand that you're close, so close to something big, something huge, something enormous. And you felt this so much in your soul, in your spirit for so long, but because you felt a little bit weak, this kind of took a better of you for a while. And this is why this person is going to step in and absolutely play a mind-blowing role. That person is not only going to tell you which steps to take next, but at the same time, that person is clearly going to make you aware of what you're actually so close to. You're so close to something so big, and you wouldn't even know, you wouldn't even realize this and know this if that person didn't step forward. So this is going to be absolutely remarkable in so many different ways. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, oh my Lord, you are actually going to have such an important sign. You are going to have 8 around the midweek, and that sign that you are going to have at the same time, 8 around that sign, you know, you are really going to, when you see that sign, you will know somehow, almost instantly, almost immediately, you will know when you see this sign that you're close to some kind of breakthrough. Now, oh my God, when you see this sign 8 around the midweek, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you will know most certainly that you're close you're so close to some kind of like a breakthrough. Now, this in itself, it's almost immediately going to really kind of highlight some kind of ability, which is going to make you feel so victorious. But most importantly, it is some kind of new idea that you are going to have at the same time. Now, it's not only about a breakthrough, my gorgeous Aquamarini. This sign that you are going to have, it's not only about a breakthrough, not at all. It's not only about an idea, not at all. But it's also going to be so great when it comes to your emotions and when it comes to your spirituality, because you will know that you are releasing pain. You released so much pain, and you not only that you're releasing pain, and this is slowly but surely coming to an end, but at the same time you're going to realize that you overcame something so dark, so negative, that you overcame some kind of depression, you know, and you know, this is, it's going to be like double whammy here. So this sign, it's not only about, oh yeah, new idea, I'm close to a breakthrough, but at the same time, it's like about you understanding that, you know, you released so much pain, and at the same time you overcame some kind of depression as well. And this is why it's so important to keep yourself busy. It's so important to keep yourself busy, to be as like kind of healthy as possible in terms of like you doing and taking some kind of exercises, because it's going to work so perfect if you can exercise. I know some people cannot exercise. I completely understand, okay? But to take some kind of exercises would be absolutely brilliant. To do things in such a natural way, you are really reaching a powerful stage of your life, and this is how you just make things so much better. And also, when it comes to the midweek, an important message about something that you've been working on intensely, an important message about something improving. It's to do with your development, and it's to do with an outcome of a past effort. Now this is going to make you feel so determined, and it's going to inspire you to have a new beginning. And on top of that, you know, this in itself, on top of that, it's also going to like kind of bring you this really interesting realization into your life, you know, to not to sacrifice yourself unnecessarily for others. Never ever sacrifice yourself unnecessarily for others, okay? So there is some kind of big lesson as well You know, big learning experience that came out of it. Okay, big learning experience indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Aquarius, sorry, it's like a basically, I know I can't sing, it's all right. So basically, yes, so the last part of this week, you must prove your point. You must prove your point. It's to do with this like continuing situation in your life. It's to do with the continuing situation in your life, and I've spoke to you about it before. It's to do with somebody older or somebody quite sensitive in your life due to their age. So whether this is an older family member, and I'm always trying not to offend people. I'm not saying that people are sensitive just because they're older, but it's something to do with that person, a really, really big sensitivity due to their age. Maybe something is going on with their memory and they're losing themselves. They lost themselves a while ago. They're losing themselves now. This is someone, I'm talking about someone in your life, like maybe an older family member who is extremely ridiculously intelligent in their own way, like super intelligent. When I say in their own way, because whatever that person would put their mind to, they would just do this so successfully, so crazy in the best possible way. So this is someone who is very prominent in your life, someone who I've been seeing for a while, and this problem is being keep on going and going and going, because that particular older person in your life is surrounded by this darkness, by these dark entities, like, oh my God, and there is one specific one who is darker than other people, darker in terms of the energy, dark entities in terms of the actual energy, okay? And there is, so that particular person in your life, it's like being very, very vulnerable. So they're losing themselves, they are not themselves anymore, and they to make things even worse, they think that they're absolutely spot on, they think that they're sharp, they think that they're clever, they think that they know what they're doing. By this stage of their life, they don't know what they're doing, and somebody who they trust so much, it's taking advantage of them. And this one particular person, this is the devil's spawn. That's the devil's, that's as devil as the devil goes. Seriously, that's how bad this person is. So someone is aware of this. That one particular person is so aware of this. Group of people are trying to take advantage of that person. And they're doing something very, very terrible, very dodgy, very naughty. They're lying, they're dishonest, and they know exactly what they're doing. So they're taking advantage of this person. And this person in your life, it's like so sensitive. And if you try to explain this to that person, they will explode and say that everybody's against that person, that nobody knows like what's going on in his life, why nobody trusts this person, blah, 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 and things like that. So you're trading on a very, very kind of like, oh my God, it's just, you have to be very, very careful the way you deal with this person, because you try to explain to this person, but it's not working, because they're saying that you are crazy. But it is just now, this has been going on for a while, so they're taking an advantage of that person, and they're trying to take as much as they can while this person is still alive, basically, you know, while they can do it. But so you know this, you're aware of this, so you just need to be really careful how you're gonna do this. You know that if you just come out and have a go at that person who is doing that to that older person in your life, you know that if you do that, things are going to be even worse. So you have to be very, very clever. But lately, bless your heart, you did come up with some kind of a plan, and that plan is absolutely brilliant. It's superb. It's perfect. Lately, not that long ago, within the last couple of weeks, full on, you came up with this plan. Within the last 2 or 3 weeks, you came up with this plan. There is somebody else who is a very powerful figure in itself, who is actually going to be able to step in and help you with this, and this is brilliant. So something is already unfolding full on, big time. So now at the end of this week, you are really going to be tested here. You're gonna have to stand up for your beliefs. You're gonna have to say what you know. You're gonna have to come out clean here without worrying who you're gonna offend, who you're not gonna offend. You're just going to need to put your foot down. This is a lot to do with your passion, passion, with your energy, and with the karma that you are going to create at the same time. The more passionate you are creating more powerful karma right now. It doesn't matter if that person in your life can't understand you or can't see where you're coming from. No, baby, no. You're just really gonna be tested a little bit here, and you are gonna be part of this situation that is gonna take place at around the end of the week. It's gonna involve that person. It's gonna involve those devilish bastards, and at the same time you are going to be part of this. And you're gonna have to like really stand up, you know, for your beliefs. You're gonna need to say what you want, what you know. You're gonna have to fight your corner. You're gonna have to be very, very protective over someone. And this in itself, you're gonna find extremely challenging. And because this is a lot to do with the justice and karma and really mind-blowing consequences. So the more you stand your ground, the more powerful this karma is going to be, especially when it comes to those people facing consequences that they should be facing in life. You know, this is crazy. Very often people are like, oh my God, how can people be bastards? How can people be such a snakes? Look at them lot, what they're doing. Look at the nastiness that's happening, that's going on everywhere. You know, I'm talking about the general. You know what I mean? It's like, where is karma for those people? Where is karma for those people who are doing such a bad things in life? Really bad things in life. They've been doing it for years and years and years. And I'm looking at the big picture. I'm looking at the things on the outside. I'm looking at the whole world. You know what I mean? There's some people that are doing terrible things in this world, and they're 120 still alive. What happened to their karma? You see what I mean? But you must not let that put you off. This is how you go against it. This is how you make this karma even more prominent, even more powerful. It is going to be undeniable energy that can destroy the mountains. And this is why, how you manipulate this in the best possible way when it comes to the desirable outcome that you need to have. Why did I say this all to you? Because the more passionate you are, the more you're standing your ground, the more powerful karma is going to be. And the more powerful karma it is, the bigger consequences that these people are actually going to have. So they never ever ever do something like that to anyone again in this world, what they have done to this particular person. So this in itself is indeed to do with an ongoing battle in your life. Okay, and also my gorgeous Aquamarini, when it comes to the end of this week, you know, this is going to be a very, very good news that you are going to have. I really like it. At the end of the week, you're going to have a really good news. And you know what? This good news is going to make you feel really good. It's going to make you feel really pleasant. And it's not about good news as such, because it's not going to be something giant. It's not going to be something enormous. It's not going to be something like, oh my God, I'm flying. No, baby, no. It's only going to be like a good news. But why am I highlighting this and why I like this? It's only because that good news that you're going to have at the end of the week, you know, it's only going to be like a good news. And it's also like kind of going to almost instantly, this good news, it's going to open your mind towards a very interesting opportunity. And that opportunity, so it's not only about good news, it's not only that your mind is going to be open towards some kind of interesting opportunity, but it's more about the fact that it's coming from someone who you can count on. But then on another hand, it's like you're going to be instantly willing to learn. You're going to be instantly willing to learn. And this is something that you really need to pay attention to. That good news that is going to come from someone who's quite open-minded, and also at the same time it's going to come from someone who you can count on. But it's more about the good news, which is going to immediately put you in a mode that you want to learn something, like you're willing to learn something. And this is so important for you to understand, because at the same time, you know, this is gonna be connected to something very unexpected and beautiful that is going to happen within the last 11 days. Within the last 11 days after that moment in time, within the next 11 days, within the next 11 days after that moment in time, as soon as you acknowledge this, As long as you acknowledge this, oh yeah, I'm willing to learn this. As long as you say this, I'm willing to learn this, you're doing something, you're creating something, you're making a spiritual impact. And in exactly 11 days after that moment in time, 11 days after that moment in time, exactly, something unexpected is actually going to happen. And this unexpected situation which is going to happen, it's not only going to provide you with a very, very wise choice, but at the same time, this is going to be connected to an unexpected sources of money and income. So this is why you simply need to be willing to learn. You do not even need to start anything, as long as you acknowledge it by being positive. Indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.